It's time for another Dice Tower review with the Chief, Bart Brunsheen.
This is the Chief, and today we're going to be talking about Slugbug, a game from Game Crafter. The designer, I always got to look, sorry, Jeff Cornelius, came out in 2012, independent designer. Slugbug, for most people in the United States, you'll know that, and probably even in Europe, although here it goes by a different name. Basically, teenage boys or preteen boys generally will be in a car and they will be playing the game that the first person that sees a Volkswagen Bug, it used to just be the old style Bug, but now from the kids I've seen playing it, it's new or old. You yell out Slugbug, and then you get to punch your buddy or your brother or whoever's next to you in the arm, generally pretty darn hard, if not as hard as you can, depending on who you're playing with. And that's Slugbug. There is no punching involved in this game. Instead, you're slapping the deck. Okay? The way this works is you've got a hand of some special cards that will allow you to kind of break the rules as you go. You'll be turning over, depending on the speed of your little car that's dictated here, which is varied up by these cards. You'll either be turning over 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 cards kind of in rapid succession. Some of these cards have a Volkswagen Bug on it, or a Volkswagen bus, or a piece of a Volkswagen Bug on it. So they can be kind of hard to pick up the detail. Or it oftentimes has cars that look like they are from the UK or from England that look, UK or from England, or from Europe, that look like they are kind of Volkswagens, but they're not. So it's basically a slap the Volkswagen Bug card or don't. If you slap a Volkswagen Bug and you're correct, you get to collect it. If you slap a car that isn't VW Bug, you have to give up a card. And this continues until you reach the lower, last fourth of the deck, where there's a predetermined card that tells you the game is over, and then you total up the amount of little Slugbug cards you have, and the person with the highest total wins. It's as simple as that. Let's go in and take just a short little closer look. First thing you have here is your speedometer, little car. All this car does is it sits on however many cards you're flipping over. 0 miles per hour, you flip over no cards if it's my turn. 20 is 1 card, 40 is 2 cards, 60 is 3, and 80 is 4 cards. On these cards here, you're going to have 3 of them in your hand at all times, and you're always going to refill back up. I'll get into these in a second here, but let me just show you during the game, when you're flipping over, you're going to be flipping over cards like so, and you'll just be looking at something as quick as that and determining whether or not that's a Volkswagen Bug. They do a nice thing, because some of these are real hard to tell. This is not a bug, but if you can see, this is a number on here, and in the rules sheet you can refer to the number if it's in doubt whether or not it's a bug or not. So you're flipping over, clearly that's a classic VW Bug, and these are almost like just photos that they've grabbed off the web or something of the vehicle. It looks like something. European car or a UK car. So same deal, not a bug. And when you come across a bug like this one's real hard to spot. It's way off in the distance here. You just come in and you slap it, and that would become my card. So to cover some of these rule changing cards. Cruising, if you can see, says reset speed token to 60. You simply, wherever it was at, you would move it to 60, and then flip means you're going to flip cards, and since you're at 60 miles an hour, you're going to flip 3 of them. DUI checkpoint, can't stand this card. It basically says if you recite the alphabet backwards, you can take a free Slugbug card. I can't do the alphabet backwards, sorry, but if you can, I guess you get a free card. You got a few other cards that are similar to that. There's some that, these are more cards that are going to move the speedometer up or down, and which just controls if it's my turn and it moves up, I'm going to be flipping 3 cards. It makes it a little harder, so that part doesn't do much for me. I would rather just have everybody zipping through a certain amount on their turn, but if you got a lot of people playing the game, you got to have some kind of controls on it. So that's the gist. Really, that's the total of what it is. Cards that are going to kind of change the rules or slightly the cards you're flipping, and this just telling you how many you're flipping. All right, we're back. I'm not really a fan of this game, but that being said, my wife likes it. First of all, it's geared toward families. It's not geared toward hardcore gamers or really even probably mid-level gamers. It's a family type game. That's why my wife likes it. We haven't played it with the boys yet. She thinks they'll enjoy it. I'm not so sure. The designer has a little bit of tongue-in-cheek here. I mean, he says, I actually feel like I'm in the back seat slugging my brother. That quote comes from the designer's son. And he has a great family game. That quote, it says, comes from a friend of the designer. So I like that, Jeff. I think that's funny. The box in and of itself is a Game Crafter box, but I love the insert. This insert is just cardboard with one of these hard foam rectangular shells around it, but it holds the cards very safely. I mean, I would do this with some of my better card games. It doesn't look pretty, but it's very secure. And Game Crafter games aren't they're decent quality, but they're not the best. So if you're going to protect it, as I tear up the box, that's the way to do it. So if you're interested, go check it out, the Game Crafter. See you guys. Chief, bye.
Thanks for watching our review today. For more information about board games, as well as the #1 board game audio podcast, check out Dicetower.com for reviews, interviews, and more. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.